Hi and welcome to day 30 of the 30-day Lyceum Foundation series. Yes, we finally got there, and even Charlie here is excited that we've gotten to the end, and I hope we've all had a great 30 days. I certainly have. It's been a tremendous experience doing these posts. A lot of work's gone into it, so I hope you have got a lot out of it. I will still remain in contact if there is any further questions, as I understand everyone's probably not going to be watching these live or day to day, so it will be a wonderful reference for you to go back to at any time. So I really hope yeah, you've gotten a lot out of it. Okay, so all right, so moving on to today's chord, we're going to be looking at the F dominant 7. Okay, and the chord is as follows. So we've got our first finger barring all of the first fret. Okay, so this is an E position bar chord. Initially we did the G minor, which was an E position, then we went to the B minor, which I would call an A position, and now we're back to that E position, meaning that it's very similar to those early chords we learned, like the E major and the E minor, but we're just now moving it up a fret, requiring our first finger to bar. Okay, so the F7 is played as follows. We've got our first finger on the first fret of the E string, got our third finger on the third fret of the A string. We've got this one open, so we're barring it. It's our first finger on the first fret of the D string. Then we've got our second finger on the second fret of the G string, and we're barring at the first fret, the last two, okay? So this one's a real tough one. I mean, sometimes as you move up, it's definitely a lot easier, but right down there is a lot of tension on those strings coming off the nuts. So it is tricky. Don't be disappointed if it's ringing out even a week later after you've been trying it for hours. It's just practice and practice and practice, and eventually your fingers will just adjust to it. Unlike that G minor where I said you can use the second finger to push down a little bit harder, can't do that here, so there's no cheating. Your 4 fingers all the way up here, and you're required to play the notes with your second and third finger. Okay, so as usual, just play it, take it on and off, and really try and get used to it. Okay, now for the scale exercise today, we are going to be doing a dominant. Alright, so it is a F7 scale, and it goes like this. Isn't that beautiful? So that would be our dominant type scale. So we've done a major and a minor, and this is our 7th scale. So we've only learnt 3 scales in this whole 30 days. So I really, really hope that it's starting to sink in. There are many variations of a dominant scale. There is many variations of a major and a minor scale as well, which we're certainly not going to go into, because this is an absolute foundational scale attached to that chord, and it is all you need when you are going to be playing an F7 dominant at this stage. Okay, the early jazz masters and many fantastic guitarists, that's all they will use. They don't need a whole group of fancy chords, which are definitely wonderful to use and attribute in many different styles, and I'm very fascinated by using a variety of different scales and modes. There is some wonderful sounds you can get, but the basics, you can't go wrong with the basics. There's plenty to work on with them. There's tons of stuff. You'll never grow tired of working over just a major and a minor scale and a dominant 7th. So yeah, so we're calling out the notes. We've got an F, G, A, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, G as F, G, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, F, D sharp, D, C, A sharp, A, G, F, D sharp, D, C, A sharp, A, G, F. And our arpeggio exercise is a 2-octave dominant 7th arpeggio, and it goes like this. Okay, quite a stretch between that first and the fifth. And I'm using the first at the first fret with my first finger on the E string, all the way up to the 5th fret with the 4th finger, at the 5th fret on the E string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, 1st finger at the 1st fret of that D string, moving to the 3rd fret of the D string with our 3rd finger, 2nd finger at the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st finger at the 1st fret of the B string, 4th finger, the 4th fret of the B string, and our 1st finger at the 1st fret of the E string. Okay, so that's about it. This is a bit of a wrap. Alright, so I've got through the 30 days. I'm going to do another video just tying everything in. There may be one or two, or I might go into a new series which will follow on from everything we've covered. I really think, which you've probably guessed by the series, that there is some absolute foundational elements to guitar playing. I believe our body is a huge factor of it too, our posture, our fingers and how they operate. So the body is a huge aspect to it. Listening is very underrated. I believe that we really need to listen to everything we play. It has to be understood by the ears and not just the body. Okay, the difference between a major and a minor and a dominant, and a diminished, half diminished, minor 7th, major 7ths, and all the altered notes. It's really important to start getting your ear to hear all those. And the next element is understanding. So make sure we really understand what we're playing, and that's the theory side of things. And you don't have to go hugely deep. I personally love it. I find it very fascinating how music's put together, the 12 notes and how they can be divided up and so forth. It's a very fascinating subject for me. So that's another aspect, and guidance. I think that's the 4th pillar in my teaching, and that's really important, because I believe you need a good teacher or a good guide to help you through the learning stages in particular. Because you can learn bad habits. You can also stop playing for various reasons. You need a good practice routine. You need to know what to practice, and obviously joining a band. I put that under guidance because I think that's one of the best teachers. I thought I was really good until I joined a band, and then that sort of really made me go, hang on, I've got a lot more to learn about actually being a guitarist. I think that's super important. It's like the old learning on the job training. You know, you don't actually learn. You can do all your university and whatnot, but you don't actually learn till you're on the job. And that's kind of how I felt with guitar playing. It wasn't until I joined a band that I really started to learn music and being a guitarist. So those 4 pillars: the body, listening, understanding, and guidance. They're very foundational pillars to Lyceum's philosophy. So once again, if there's any questions, please contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And I really do hope you've enjoyed the series. I hope you keep practicing, and I wish you all the very best. So God bless and take care.